Hey everyone, it's me again, Daniel Rodriguez. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing just fine. I know it's been a while since I last made a YouTube video, and I do apologize for the hiatus, but I've been busy with schoolwork, work. Finally got a job. Um, it's on it's on the college campus that I go to school at. I'm a cashier and I work 4 days a week from Monday through Thursday. Work from 10:15 to 5 o'clock, so about 28 hours a week, and I just get so exhausted because I'm always standing up at my job. I can never sit down. We have a lot of customers to deal with every day, and I don't think there's ever been a day when I hardly had any customers. So I'm always standing up, and by the time I leave work at around 5, my feet are so tired and I just want to take a nap. But then I have homework to do because I'm also a grad student at the same time, a full-time grad student. So my life has just been so hectic lately, and that's why I have not been on YouTube for such a long time. But I am glad to be finally making a YouTube video again. I'm here in the house by myself, and I think right now is a great time to start this new YouTube video that I've been planning for a while. And this time I want to talk about obesity and the obesity epidemic here in the United States. Um, I'm studying public health in college, and it's a subject that I'm very passionate about. Um, I've always been interested in health and fitness and nutrition. I do believe that people should take care of their health so that we don't go end up in the emergency room constantly. I do think that you will enjoy life better if you're healthy. I do think that you will have better self-esteem, feel better about yourself, and worry less about you know, debilitating illnesses like diabetes and heart disease if you take care of your health. I think everyone should strive to should at least try to take care of their health. Of course, some people they have medical conditions like thyroid issues that prevent them from losing weight, getting healthy, etc. But if you don't have a medical condition, most of us don't, then why not try to improve your health? I'm here today to talk about the obesity epidemic. Don't know if you guys are interested in that, but if you are, then thank you. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I'm very passionate about the topic of obesity. I do think that we are in an obesity crisis here in the United States. Um, as a matter of fact, I recently read some statistics from online from credible sources, including the Centers for Disease Control, or CDC for short, and these statistics are pretty staggering. And I think everyone should know these statistics. Are these I can't talk. Are these statistics accurate? I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure if these are accurate, but all sources, all credible sources, including websites, researchers, doctors, health experts, etc., seem to be in agreement that we are currently in an obesity crisis. And while we're finally seeing some improvement, the improvements are very little, and we still have a long way to go, and we still have a big hole that we need to dig ourselves out of. We just got ourselves in such a big hole, and we need to really work hard in order to reverse the damage that we did to ourselves in terms of obesity. So let me read you guys some statistics so that you guys know how serious and dire this whole obesity epidemic is. So here's some statistics. First of all, these first two statistics are from the Centers for Disease Control. As you know, it's headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia, and they just basically study disease and how it impacts American citizens and the American people and America's healthcare system, etc. Um, so this first statistic comes from the CDC. This is actually a statistic from 2009 and 2010, so it's not the most up-to-date statistic, but it's pretty recent, so I'll share it with you guys anyway. Apparently, the obesity rate here in the United States among US adults ages 20 and up is 35.9%. Um, and that's obesity. That doesn't include people who are just overweight. As you guys know, there's a difference between overweight and obese, at least in the medical field. Overweight means that you are somewhat heavy, but you're not too heavy. Whereas obese means that you're heavy to the point that you are at an increased risk of serious chronic illnesses such as type 2 diabetes and heart disease, and even certain types of cancers. Um, so 35.9%, that's more than 1 in 3 adults here in the United States. That's pretty high. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we're actually the second most obese country in the world. Mexico is the only country that's higher in terms of obesity, and that was recent. We used to be the fattest country in the world. Um, Hate to be un-American and critical, but I think that just kind of that's not something to be that's not something to be proud of. It's definitely not something to be proud of. The fattest country or the second fattest country in the world. I mean, I think the UK is the third fattest country in the world, and they're behind us, like they're lower by like 3 or 4%. So they're not even anywhere near the United States. Now, of course, that just refers to both. Uh, that just Well, first let me read you the second statistic that I also got from the Centers for Disease Control, and basically that second statistic says that the overweight rate, by overweight, that means either overweight or obese. The percentage of American adults who are either overweight or obese is 69.2%. Almost 70%, almost 7 in 10 adults here in the United States, age 20 and above, are overweight. You know, Again, this statistic is from 2009 and 2010. Did that statistic improve a little bit over the last 3 or 4 years? It's 2014 now, so you guys might be wondering, has that statistic improved since then? Yeah, I would imagine there's a little improvement, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's only a 1 or 2% improvement. Um, so 69.2% of American adults are overweight. And I don't have the statistic in front of me regarding what percent is underweight, but I read that one time online, and if I remember correctly, only 3% of American adults are underweight. So, I mean, if we had limited resources and money and time to fix an epidemic, would we spend time fixing obesity slash overweight or anorexic underweight people? Which would you rather tackle? I mean, it's obvious. We should focus on obesity and people who are too heavy because it's much more prevalent than um, people who are underweight or anorexic. Only 3% are underweight. That means that being underweight is less prevalent and less burdensome than people who are overweight. It's the overweight, obese people who who are costing the U.S. healthcare system millions every year. I'm not kidding. Millions of dollars are spent every year by the healthcare system in treating obesity and obesity-related disease. Um, and it's not just physical health problems that are resulting that are it's not just physical health problems that you have to worry about if you are obese. I'm pretty sure if you are obese, you have to worry about a lower self-esteem, and that might even turn into depression. Um, I think I read once somewhere that depression is somewhat more likely in overweight or obese people because they deal with so much, you know, they have low self-esteem and low body image. And of course, if you don't feel good about your body and you don't feel good about your health, your well-being, your physical appearance, you're not going to have good self-esteem. and that low self-esteem can eventually turn into depression, and that's not what you want. So you have mental health issues that can arise from obesity. You have physical health issues, mostly chronic health issues that can arise from obesity. I think the obesity epidemic should be one of the health. Um, my throat's getting dry. I think the obesity epidemic should be one of the health epidemics that you know that we should focus on. I mean, we should. I mean, the obesity epidemic should be one of the first epidemics on our to-do list. We should really attend to this obesity epidemic because of what it can do to us, because of how burdensome and prevalent it is in American society, especially nowadays. And compared to these other health issues like anorexia or being underweight, I think being overweight is more is a prevalent issue. You know, I mean the prevalence rate for obesity is high compared to other things like cigarette smoking and anorexia. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that we should ignore those other health issues. I do agree that anorexia and cigarette smoking are very deadly. Not very, but they're deadly and they pose serious health threats and whatnot. I don't think people should smoke cigarettes. My grandfather died from smoking too many cigarettes. He smoked 2 packs a day. Um, I don't know anyone in my family who is anorexic, but from what I understand, anorexia can be very deadly because it's a mental illness, and you just starve yourself to death sometimes, and you're very skinny. So anorexia and cigarette smoking are very bad. Don't get me wrong, I understand that. But I'm just saying that because obesity is so much more prevalent, doesn't that mean we should spend a little more time focusing on the obesity issue as opposed to focusing on cigarette smoking and anorexia? After all, we have limited sources and limited government funding. We can't ask for all the funding. We can't get funding whenever we want. We have to be approved by the government. The government will only give us funding if they feel it's justified. So with limited resources, why not focus on, things that are more burdensome and prevalent? So that's why I think the obesity issue, the obesity epidemic here in the United States, deserves a lot of attention from not just public health officials, but from ordinary citizens like you and me. Well, I'm not an ordinary citizen. I am a public health official, but still, you get my point. The fact of the matter is obesity is an epidemic, and I'm going to read you one last statistic, and I know I already used up 13 minutes of my video time, so I just don't want to ramble too much. But here's the last statistic that I want to share with you guys because I think it's a very good statistic. As you know, where you live in the United States is also a factor. Some states are healthier than others. But consider this statistic. This is actually a little more recent, so it's a little more pertinent. This statistic I'm about to read comes from the first half of 2012, and it's from Gallup. Gallup is like this one company that does surveys mostly by phone. They survey people's health habits and whatnot. Do you work out? Do you exercise? Do you eat healthy? Are you overweight? Are you underweight? They ask those questions on the phone to people in various states. And Gallup collected data from all 50 U.S. states, including the District of, They collected data from all 50 states, plus the District of Columbia, and they calculated overweight rate, the percent of residents who are overweight in each of the 50 U.S. states. So they have overweight rates for all states, and according to their survey back in 2012, Colorado is the healthiest state. But get this, even though Colorado has the lowest overweight rate, even though they have the thinnest, leanest, healthiest people, the overweight rate in Colorado from that 2012 survey was 55.1%. That's still more than half of all the residents of Colorado. So even in the healthiest U.S. state, the majority are still overweight. So you see how serious this thing is? Even in the healthiest places in the United States, the majority are um, the majority pack excess pounds and can benefit from losing weight. So, and one last thing before I go, I'm going to continue because I don't want this to be a really long video that you guys can't stand. But you guys might be wondering, well, how do they determine who's overweight, how much overweight people there are? My guess, like I know for a fact that that Gallup survey used the BMI chart to determine whether someone's overweight, obese, or whatnot. If you guys don't know what BMI is, it stands for body mass index, and basically it takes into account your height and weight and gives you a BMI. The BMI, in a nutshell, the BMI method is just uses a chart, and the chart basically gives you a BMI score. And again, it stands for body mass index. And if you guys want, like, I can't really explain it to you succinctly here on YouTube, but if you guys want to know more about the BMI thing, just type in BMI on Google and you'll learn more about it. But basically, that's what Gallup, CDC, and all these other people use. That's what they all use to determine obesity rates, overweight rates. So if you guys want to know more about BMI, I think you should learn about it because that's what the government uses to calculate obesity rates. So learn more about it, type in BMI chart, BMI calculator. It's pretty self-explanatory. I might post another video on YouTube that explains what BMI is and how to use it. But in a nutshell, CDC, Gallup, they all use BMI to calculate these obesity or overweight rates for each and every US state. So in case you guys were wondering, that's the method that they use. Because some of you guys might wonder, how do they know that 55.1% of Coloradans are overweight? Well, that's why. Because they use the I'm getting dry. Sorry about that, guys. I need to stop talking. But that's how they know that 55% of Coloradans are obese, or overweight rather, because of the BMI method. So I guess I'll just take a break now. My mouth is getting tired. Enough of the rant. I know I ranted a little bit, but as a public health major in college, I feel like I should, I almost have a duty to educate people about obesity. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a long video. I rambled too much, but I'm very passionate about this. And please feel free to comment, like, dislike, whatever. You can ask me questions in the comments section, but for now I'm gonna go and I'll read any comments or questions that I receive. And please don't write any stupid comments. I mean, you can write comments that are a little stupid, but comments that are extremely stupid, I'll just try to ignore it. So don't even think about being too stupid, because there was nothing stupid about this video, so I don't know why I should get some stupid comment in response. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Daniel Rodriguez, and I hope to create another video of myself on YouTube soon. So see you guys later. Bye.